When it comes to advances in golf clubs over the last couple of decades, it is difficult to think of many more transformative things for regular amateurs than the almost mass adoption of hybrid clubs. Long gone are the days of amateurs struggling to get long irons off the ground, as hybrids with their larger heads and lighter shafts have made longer clubs easier to hit. Indeed, so good have hybrids proved to be that they are now also a tried and tested option for the pros. But with every new club type, questions inevitably follow as to how far you should hit them. So in this video, we firstly take a look at the best available stats out there to answer the question of how far you should hit your hybrids, focusing on the most commonly used 2, 3 and 4 hybrids. Secondly, analyse the average distances various categories of handicapped golfers hit them. And finally, thirdly, compare them where possible to the average distances of the long irons they are meant to replace. Looking at the question as to how far you should hit your hybrids is, however, not as simple as it may first seem. When it comes to looking at driver distances, we all know that pretty much 100% of the time all standards of golfers will be trying to hit the ball as far as they can. But hybrid golf clubs, by comparison, are going to be used for a much wider variety of shots, as 2 hybrids, 3 hybrids and 4 hybrids especially, for example, are going to be used by amateur golfers both off the tee as well as for approach shots into the green. Also, one of the key reasons hybrids have become so universally adopted by golfers of all standards is their versatility. They can be hit from the rough, from bad lies, off the tee, from the sand, from pine straw, and can even be used to chip and putt with, so a distance comparison between hybrid clubs is not always an easy task, and any general average distance given for specific hybrid clubs should be considered in this context. Reliable amateur data on how far the average player hits a hybrid is also harder to come by, but thankfully one of the benefits of the explosion in golf tech has been platforms such as Arcos and ShotScope, as well as any number of GPS watches and devices which have given us a much clearer idea. And when it comes to the most commonly used hybrid, the 3 hybrid, which has become the staple replacement of the 3 iron in the majority of amateur golfers' bags, Arcos, golf's first artificial intelligence shot tracking platform, has crunched the numbers of the millions of the golf shots hit by their users and come up with these average total shot distances for 3 hybrids of different handicapped golfers and compared them to the 3 iron total distances achieved by their users of similar handicaps. And on average, we can see scratch or 0 handicap golfers hit a 3 hybrid a total distance of 193 yards. By comparison, 5 handicap amateurs hit a 3 hybrid 183 yards on average, with 10 handicap golfers reaching 176 yards. The average 15 handicap golfer 3 hybrid distance is 170 yards, while 20 handicappers average 163 yards in total. Looking at these numbers, it is also interesting to note that players up to a handicap of 17 hit the ball slightly further with their 3 irons than with their hybrids, and even then the difference for high handicappers who do hit their 3 hybrid further is only minimal. Given the hybrid club was invented principally to solve the struggle all standards of golfers have historically had to hit long irons consistently well, this is perhaps a surprising insight, albeit a possible explanation is simply that a well-struck 3 iron shot by lower handicap players will roll out more due to its lower spin rate. The challenges with hitting long irons consistently well obviously don't stop with the 3 iron, and all standards of golfer also frequently struggle with 4 irons up to mid irons. Luckily, however, when it comes to the Arcos data available for 4 hybrids, we're able to go into even more detail than we can for 3 hybrids, and we can also take a look at the differences in yardages amateurs hit their 4 hybrids when using them off the tee compared to for approach shots. And this is again another good illustration of the complexity of comparing hybrid distances between golfers. Arcos' analysis, for example, found that low handicappers of between scratch and 5 hit hybrids longer off the tee compared to approach shots, while this trend is reversed for every other handicap category. Their stats also showed, even while those same low handicappers also hit the ball further off the tee and hit more fairways with a 4 iron compared to a 4 hybrid, all handicap categories scored lower when using a 4 hybrid off the tee. So if you find yourself comparing hybrid distances with your playing partners, it's worth bearing in mind how many types of shots hybrids are used for and how they can affect average distances. To complete the picture of how far you should hit your hybrids, we now turn to including a 2 hybrid alongside the 3 hybrid and 4 hybrid. And in these figures, we pull together all the available data we could find provided by Arcos for each of these clubs, looking at the ranges of average total distances, their tens of thousands of users, hit 2, 3 and 4 hybrids, broken down by handicap groups. The eagle-eyed among you may have spotted that the average distance range Arcos report for 2 hybrids hit by the 16 to 20 handicap range is less than the range of distances they hit with their 3 hybrids. There could be a number of explanations for such anomalies, including potentially the most likely that despite the millions of golf shots in their database, the number of higher handicappers using a 2 hybrid consistently is quite small, and so the number of shots tracked in this group is far less than in the others. Whatever the explanation, there is one clear conclusion which is inescapable when you look at the distances the varying handicap groups hit their hybrids, and that is better players hit the ball longer with their hybrids compared to higher handicap players. The need to hit your hybrids further alongside all your other clubs if you want to improve and lower your scores is therefore a must if you are serious about getting better, as the link between increased distance and lower handicaps is clear across all the distance data throughout the bag. With that said, however, it is probably worth remembering one caveat when looking at these yardages, and that is concerning what type of golfer is likely to be using platforms such as Arcos to track the distances they hit the ball. Chances are users and wearers of these devices are more serious about their golf than most amateur golfers, so it is more than likely that these numbers are higher than they would be if they included every amateur golfer that plays the game. So if you're not hitting the ball these distances with your hybrids, the picture may not be as bad as you think. Thanks for watching. Please like this video if you found it useful, and most importantly, enjoy your golf.